Let's talk about something explosive. Something the billion-dollar pharmaceutical industry absolutely does not want you to know. We're going to rip the lid off what I call the Ozempic trap and expose exactly what happens to your body during and after this drug. And then, most importantly, I'm going to show you the natural biological system you already have inside you that Ozempic is literally trying to mimic, and how you can activate it yourself, for free, starting at your very next meal. Picture this. You weigh 250 pounds. You're frustrated. You've tried dieting. You've tried cutting calories. Nothing is sticking. Your doctor hands you a prescription for Ozempic and says, "This is a game changer." And in some ways, they're right. The weight starts coming off. You feel full faster. You stop thinking about food constantly. After 68 weeks, roughly a year and a half, you've dropped 50 pounds. You're lighter than you've been in years. You feel victorious. But here's what the scale is not telling you. Here's what the before and after photos don't show. Of those 50 pounds you lost, approximately 40 pounds was not fat. It was muscle. Read that again. 40 out of 50 pounds lost, muscle, not fat. So the breakdown looks like this. You lost roughly 30 pounds of fat. That's real. That's progress. But you also lost 20 pounds of pure, metabolically active muscle tissue. And here's where the horror story begins. Losing muscle isn't just a cosmetic issue. Losing that much muscle is like taking a roaring V8 engine and swapping it out for a lawnmower motor. Your metabolism, the thing that determines how many calories you burn just existing, just breathing, just being alive, has been gutted. You look smaller, but underneath the surface, your body has become a fundamentally less efficient machine. Now here comes the part that should genuinely terrify you. Let's say you've done the 68-week run. You've lost the 50 pounds. And now, because this drug costs around $1,000 a month and nobody can sustain that forever, you stop taking it. The clinical trials are brutally honest about what happens next. Within 1 year of stopping Ozempic, most people regain approximately 2/3 of the weight they lost. But it's not just weight coming back. It's a completely different kind of weight. Because the muscle does not come back. The muscle is gone. What floods back in is almost entirely fat. So let's do the math. You started at 250 pounds. You lost 50 pounds. Of that, 30 pounds was fat and 20 pounds was muscle. You stopped the drug. Within a year, you regained 33 pounds, nearly all fat. You are now 233 pounds. You lost a total of 17 pounds, but all of it was muscle, not fat. Your body now burns fewer calories at rest. Your hunger hormones are dysregulated. Your metabolism is slower than it was before you ever touched the drug. You are not better off. You are metabolically worse off than the day you started. And this is exactly why the drug companies need you on this medication for the rest of your life. At $1,000 a month, forever. Now let's zoom out and look at the business model, because the numbers here are staggering. The company behind Ozempic generated over $20 billion in revenue in a single year. Their stock price tripled, and their internal strategic goal was never to cure obesity. Let that land. Their goal, embedded in the very design of this drug, was to create lifetime patients. Not healed people, lifetime patients. And so the drug companies, with the full backing of the FDA, have been systematically pushing the narrative that you simply must stay on this medication indefinitely. But here's the question that nobody in that boardroom wants answered. Why can't we show people how to activate their own body's natural weight-regulating system? The same system Ozempic is desperately trying to replicate without the drug, without the side effects, without the $1,000 monthly price tag, without the muscle destruction. The answer is that you absolutely can, and that's what we're going to do right now. Let me introduce you to something called GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide 1. It's a hormone. Your body makes it naturally, and it is one of the most powerful appetite-regulating, blood sugar stabilizing, digestion-controlling compounds your biology produces. Deep inside your digestive tract, you have specialized cells called L cells. Think of these as tiny biological command centers. Covering these L cells are a series of sensors, receptors, that respond to what you eat. When those receptors get triggered, they fire off GLP-1 into your bloodstream. And GLP-1 does three remarkable things simultaneously. It sends a powerful "I am full" signal directly to your brain. It triggers insulin release, actively managing your blood sugar. And it slows down your digestion so food moves through your system at a steady, controlled pace. This is an exquisitely elegant system, and in a healthy body it works beautifully. The problem is that in most modern humans, thanks to decades of ultra-processed food, constant snacking, sedentary lifestyles, and gut microbiome destruction, this system has become profoundly broken. Ozempic swoops in and forces the GLP-1 signal with synthetic pharmaceutical intensity. But here's the key thing. Ozempic only activates one of those receptor buttons on the L cell, and it keeps it pressed for an entire week at doses your body would never naturally produce. That's why the side effects can be so severe. Your body isn't designed for that. But what if you could trigger all 8 receptor buttons naturally? What if you could rebuild and reactivate the entire system from the ground up without a single injection? You can. Here's exactly how. Before we even get into the full protocol, here's something you can do at your very next meal that will change your metabolic response immediately. It sounds almost too simple, but the clinical data behind it is remarkable. Eat your protein and fiber together, interleaved, alternating bites. A bite of protein, a bite of fiber, back and forth throughout the entire meal. Clinical trials show this simple pattern can reduce blood sugar spikes by 29 to 40%. There is no supplement on the market that can touch that number. This is free, and it starts tonight. Now let's go through all 8 receptor pathways. The first 2 are activated by something called short-chain fatty acids. Your gut microbes produce these when they ferment dietary fiber. This is why fermented foods like sauerkraut, apple cider vinegar, and high-fiber vegetables are so powerful. Your microbiome is literally a GLP-1 activation factory if you feed it the right fuel. Receptor buttons 3, 4, and 5 are activated by specific dietary fats. Omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish, fish oil, and cod liver oil, extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil. These aren't just healthy fats, they are direct GLP-1 activators. Remember, Ozempic only hits one button. By eating quality fats, you are adding 3 more to the stack. Buttons 6 and 7 are triggered by amino acids, the building blocks of protein. High-quality animal protein directly stimulates your L cells and triggers GLP-1 production. This is the biological reason why protein is the most satiating macronutrient. Every time you eat eggs, beef, chicken, or fish, you are engaging your body's natural appetite suppression system. And button 8 is bile salts. This one blew my mind. Bile salts not only activate GLP-1, they actually increase the number of L cells in your digestive tract. More L cells means more GLP-1 production capacity. You're not just pressing the button harder, you're building more buttons. Now let's talk fiber, because not all fiber is the same. A massive bowl of romaine lettuce will produce very little short-chain fatty acid. You need specific fermentable prebiotic fibers that your gut bacteria can actually break down. The most powerful ones are inulin from garlic and onions, leeks, asparagus, artichoke, flaxseed, chia seeds, avocado fiber, and cabbage. And speaking of cabbage, let me spotlight sauerkraut specifically. 1 tablespoon of properly fermented sauerkraut may be doing more for your GLP-1 system than an entire large salad. It already contains short-chain fatty acids from the fermentation process. It contains live lactobacillus bacteria rebuilding your gut microbiome. And it contains the cabbage fiber itself as raw material for even more fermentation. Put sauerkraut on everything: burgers, eggs, meat, fish. Make it a condiment you reach for automatically. Here's the thing that frustrates me most about modern medicine. They are always treating the downstream effects while completely ignoring the upstream cause. Think of it as a river. At the headwaters, the source, you have the true root causes: ultra-processed food, a sedentary lifestyle, a food environment designed to override your biological satiety signals. Follow that river downstream, and after years of metabolic stress, you develop insulin resistance. Keep flowing, and you get pre-diabetes, then type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, visceral fat, chronic inflammation. Where does modern medicine intervene? At the very bottom of the river. Ozempic operates way downstream, attacking a symptom while the root cause continues flowing unchecked. And that's why when you remove the drug, everything comes back. So here is your complete action plan: 5 steps. No drugs, no injections, no side effects. Step 1. Protein and fiber at every single meal. Alternating bites. This is your foundation, and it starts immediately. Step 2. Eliminate refined carbohydrates and added sugars. These are the headwaters of your metabolic dysfunction. When you truly cut them out, your body begins burning fat as its primary fuel. The cravings that felt biologically uncontrollable will fade, not because of willpower, but because you've removed the biochemical root cause. Step 3. Walk after every meal, even 10 to 15 minutes. This directly blunts the post-meal blood sugar spike, drives glucose into muscle cells without needing insulin, reduces cortisol, improves digestion, and triggers better sleep. This is free medicine. Step 4. Compress your eating window to 1 to 2 meals per day. No snacking between meals, nothing after dinner. Every time you eat, even a small snack, you trigger an insulin response. And as long as insulin is elevated, your body cannot access its fat stores. Put a sign on your refrigerator after dinner: "Kitchen is closed," and mean it. Step 5. Build muscle. Resistance training is the most effective tool available for rebuilding the metabolic engine that Ozempic destroyed. Every pound of muscle you build raises your resting metabolic rate. You're not building a beach body, you're building a metabolic machine that works for you 24 hours a day. Here's what makes this protocol so much more powerful than Ozempic. Every single element compounds with every other element. The prebiotic fiber feeds the microbiome, which produces more short-chain fatty acids, which trigger more GLP-1, which reduces appetite, which makes fewer meals easy, which heals insulin resistance. The quality protein creates satiety, which makes the eating window manageable, which creates extended fasting periods, which burns fat, which reduces inflammation, which improves insulin sensitivity. The walking reduces cortisol, which improves sleep, which normalizes hunger hormones, which makes dietary compliance effortless. And the resistance training builds muscle, which increases insulin sensitivity, which reduces blood sugar spikes, which allows your L cells to regenerate and become more sensitive to GLP-1 stimulation. This is not a linear protocol. It is a regenerative cycle. Here's the bottom line. Your L cells can regenerate. Your gut microbiome can be rebuilt. Your insulin sensitivity can be restored. Your appetite hormones can recalibrate. Your metabolic engine, once a misfiring lawnmower, can become a roaring, efficient machine that burns fat, preserves muscle, and runs clean. The most powerful metabolic healing tool in the world is not in their pipeline. It's already inside you. You just have to activate it. Start tonight. Protein and fiber, alternating bites. Sauerkraut on everything. Quality fats. No snacking after dinner. A walk around the block. Small things, compounding daily. Building something pharmaceutical companies cannot patent, cannot bottle, and cannot charge you $1,000 a month for. Your biology. Working exactly the way it was always designed to work.